Hello, it's a quick video, just a little sneak peek into my CI/CD pipeline I've created. Um, I have broken it in several phases. The first phase is actually getting requirements documentation, and since usually people don't really describe things clearly, I have a command. I'm using Claude Code CLI and using FeatureForge, and what FeatureForge does is it basically inquires me about my ask until I return some detail. And so here you can see I wanted to create a personal assistant using Open Web UI. I have everything self-hosted. And basically I want to be able to have an assistant I could talk to on my phone, wherever, to ask questions, so have it memorize things, to come back with dates, times, and keep me generally updated. Eventually I'll add additional features. This was spawned from the fact I was starting to have some problems with ChatGPT. So when that was done, it created a markdown file. I did review it for some completeness. There was a small change. Then I ran the create solution step. It basically passed in the requirements document that was created from here. And the create solution document goes through a whole architecture process, which includes passing through 3 independent judges of the requirements, 2 hosted instances I have of CLIs with Gemini, Codex, and Claude to get their various 3 different ways of solving the problem. Then all those different problems are created and then compared and then create to a hybrid. The result was this document here, which covers through all the different design decisions, how it's going to use mem0 for the memory that I want to look up quickly, structured data for like history for my chats, context injection, some basic diagrams and how this is going to work, um, and some other explanations about custom tools, etc., and how this is going to work, talking to authentication, injection, greeting, conversion, summarize, etc. It gives all sorts of examples. So we have all those down to here. So I could, interact with it and change it. I can go back and look at the actual Claude code analysis. All right, so that's not connected right now, but the different files to see what that is. Fix the connection. So you can see here, this is what the Claude code connection string is, backwards into there. So all the files are connected into the back. So I can see that too. So what I'm going to do next is, it did run through that, and I'm going to go to the next step. Okay, next step is create plan. So going to create plan, I'm passing in the notes, which are the final design decisions on here. Hit enter while that's running in the background, just to show you what is going on. We're now using the subagent and also Claude Code's main thread for designing this plan. The PM is the project manager context. The idea being the plan should include breaking up all the work to different subagents, such as a project manager, architect, security person, developer, and QA. This plan will be generated and put into markdown files. Once that's done, I can do a peer review. And also, I forgot to mention, the AI review board will peer review it. So all these different AIs, which different perspectives from different vendors, will be asked to critique and challenge the plan to improve it. So it's very critical, since AI always tries to help do what you want to do. So all the critiques we incorporate into the final plan. Once our final plan is done and reviewed, I do execute plan. Execute plan is going to take that plan and break out into little chunks to put into a Kanban board, which I'll show in a minute, and it will show all the different steps. Once those steps are in the Kanban board, I may process the individual steps, make decisions, etc., and then tell it to execute those steps. Once I get through all the steps, I have my program. So let's take a look at what's going on right now with the create plan. All right, you can see here, I went off the screen here, but you can see here this big chunk is asking the review board for some input here. So let's come back when it's done. It's still processing. It did get all the responses back from the review board, and you can see here some of the feedback was from Codex, some rollback strategy, deploy script details, some gray areas, and from Gemini, some middleware isolation risk, DB connection limits, etc. So we'll see when the plan's done. It got done with the first pass of the draft. It's now sending it back for final review. Okay, the career plan is done. It took about 26 minutes. Let's just take a look at the plan. This is the final plan after it's been reviewed twice by the various AIs. It gives you an executive summary, how it's going to work, does some objectives and some tooling, some success criteria. The formatting's a little off because I'm using a web browser to view the file. Going through here, different table information. It gives a directory structure in the repository that's going to be created on disk. It's going to go over the CI pipeline for testing and deploying. Talks about the project manager deliverables. Going down the line. Other details I'm going to skip through because I want to put it to sleep. Going down to here. I'm just skipping. There's a lot of details, obviously. QA, what they're going to do, etc. Going down the line. Dependency graph. So this is all the different tasks it's going to create in their dependencies. It's showing who's going to be assigned what for the different tasks. The security, architect, developer, etc. QA. A little timeline in phases for the different pieces of work. So we're going to go back to the step now, which is going to be execute plan. And what that's going to do is going to take this and break into cards, which I'll show you in a minute. So I hit /execute plan. You can see I give the full path to notes here. Okay, it completed. So what it did was it created a GitLab board. So let me switch over to that. We did the execute plan. So in my GitLab, I now have a bunch of cards. Each one is a piece of work that has to be done. I removed out of the backlog my decisions. So it has a bunch of decision cards like, hey, do I want to have a separate database for some of the data? I already checked it off. There is one here, or a couple here I wanted to fill out real quick. One is the SQL migration. I wanted to basically tell it with a comment below saying use the simplest method if built in, available, execute. So just take a backup first. All right. So that has to do with moving away from SQLite to PostgreSQL. So I made that comment there. Okay. Going along here, I have another one here. Mobile persist mechanism, but I'm not going to answer right now. I'm just going to go through. So we have all the different ones. So the next step, one of the things it gave me from the previous one, sorry about that, is it did give me a plan summary from a web perspective. So it shows you the timeline, what it's going to do, infrastructure, parallel build, integration, mobile, finalizing, testing, nice little project plan, task overview, so I can look at the different tasks. So not only do I have it in the GitLab board, but it also has some visual diagrams. Now I could tweak these as what a deliverable is. This is just what it inferred from my generic asking them to do this work. And I have to type anything extra. That's all part of the process flow. It gives you some top risks, and etc. And it does go over the decision. And it does go back to those other artifacts in the previous work. So I'm going to pause for a second, answer this one question, then go continue. Okay, I answered another question. So I'm going to say GitLab board is AI assistant is my project and say all. And what that's going to do is it's going to process all those tokens, those cards, and we'll take a look when it's done. Okay, the GitLab board finished. You can see on my screen here. We'll go over to the GitLab board, and all the things in the ready got processed except for one. And when I said I did the other, I didn't actually save the comment. So right here, the AI added to the comment section of the GitLab action that needs clarification. I hit other, but I didn't have the comment. So I will save the comment and run it through again. Okay, that got finished. So I moved over the T's, which are basically setup. Then the phases begin. So I'm not going to drag everybody through all the different sessions, but when I do the phase one, it'll create more cards, more detailed. And so each one's going to be broken out to many more cards. But just keep a repeating process done. It's theoretically I could have it run through everything by pushing all over, but I like to check in between phases to make sure we're not going to waste some time. Okay, and as you can see, it's still progressing, but you'll see some cards are in a ready state, some are in progress, some are done as it continues. All right, so it's in the final phase, doing the GitLab CI/CD pipeline validation. You can see it's listing all the stages going through the GitLab, and going to GitLab in the pipeline. It's trying to build and deploy. It did get stuck, and so I simply told that it was stuck and it's going to recover. So we're right at the very end, but looking pretty good. Okay. All right, it's done. So what happened was on the first try, it was a little slow in talking, and I realized it didn't use my faster transformers for speech to text, text to speech. So I told it to fix that. I did put a shortcut on my phone. It has the directions right here. Logged in, and you'll see I have it. Oh, sorry, you can't really see it right there in the corner. So I'm going to click on it, hit the little button, and say, what model are you?
I'm Claude. You had me going for a second earlier, but I'm definitely made by Anthropic. How am I doing on the speed test?
Okay, looking good. All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Mike. Let me know if you need anything else.
Okay, so obviously I'd like to make it a little faster with the response. I could see if there's anything to be done. But this AI agent should have access to Mem0 and SQL Server for its background chats, and I can start using it for my memory and talking to it. And I can add email and do Google Calendar, do what have you, but make my own personal chat assistant. And the only reason I did this today is my chat GPT failed me twice in this past week. I've been talking to it for a year and a half, and I decided, what the heck, might as well make my own. And there you go, pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful.